Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with episode 4 of Xmen 97. We're almost to the halfway mark. I believe there is 10 or 11 episodes, at least according to IMDb. Sometimes that's wrong, like Delicious in Dungeons going on right now. IMDb said it had 12 episodes. I'm already on episode 14, and it is still going. That comes out tomorrow at 9:30. I'm doing this the morning before. It usually drops at 3 a.m., but I'm thinking at this point, I'm not going to get up at 3 a.m. to watch it. I wanted to in the beginning, so I got the jump on it and I got to see what was happening. But now I wait till the morning, I watch it before I go out for work. Last we saw, we got Fire Made Flesh, and we got the Goblin Queen in the form of Madeline Pryor. The real Jean Grey was knocking at the door. Madeline Pryor looks to have had a baby with Scott. We talked at the end of the episode as to whether or not if she was the real Dark Phoenix, if she really fell in love with Scott. My brother came for Easter, which just passed this weekend, and we rewatched the episode. He hadn't seen it yet, so I rewatched it. He watched it. He's the one I told you last week, told me all about Madeline Pryor, at least according to the comic books. He said that he feels like they strayed a little from the comics, because in the comics, he said he felt like they gave an exact interpretation of what Madeline Pryor was, like when she became it, when Mr. Sinister did all that stuff. He also said he felt like it went on forever, and they summed it up in a quick little 30-minute episode, where at the end, Madeline was like, I'll be Madeline, I'm going to go off on my own, live my own life, you stay here with Scott. But there really wasn't any confirmed date on which Madeline was Madeline, and you know the deal. But now Madeline Pryor is another Jean Grey, is the clone. We do know she is the clone. We learned a lot about Jean Grey's past, her friend getting hit by the car. That jump-started her powers, per se, because it's usually a little longer in your teenage years when you start seeing mutant abilities. And she was the Goblin Queen, and then not the Goblin Queen. Mr. Sinister ran away. He tainted Nathan Summers, who we know is Cable, and now who we know is the son of Madeline Pryor, because we did see Madeline give birth to Cable, so we know that much. Bishop took him to the future so we could change it. We were also talking about how we know Cable was in the original animated series, but we forget to what capacity, or whether or not they knew Cable was their son at that point. We knew he was, but did they? Because I can't remember, and they're making it like they didn't know that ever happened. And we ended the episode with Storm sitting in the Tequila Mockingbird bar, and Forge sat down. Ray also told me all of Forge's powers. He sort of, if I understood it correctly, is able to create anything given enough time. He can like invent or create anything, so to speak. Like not just like out of thin air, but like using materials and science and stuff like that is what I understood. So I believe he is going to get Storm's powers back. We probably will see Madeline again. I feel like they ruined it because Disney always puts horrible things in the thumbnail, and I swear I saw Mojo, and I do have an action figure of Mojo. Spiral was in the last episode, who I also have. I have action figures of all the original 1990s X-Men line of toys. But either way, I'm talking too much. Let's just jump in. We'll see more at the end, or talk more at the end, I should say. You guys want to see more of what I do? In the description of every video is a link for Patreon. You'll see these in full as soon as they're done up on Patreon, unedited. Same thing with Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest. Right now, we're also doing, along with this every week, Shogun, Delicious in Dungeon, Hell of a Boss, The Shield. Fallout is starting soon. Same with Chucky Season 3 Part 2. Those start next week. So we're going to have tons of new shows coming out every week, Jackie Chan movies every month, thousands of other movies and shows in full. In the description is the link for Patreon. If not, Season 1, Episode 4, Xmen 97. Bam, 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 bam. And my brother did tell me, I keep thinking of the video game. When I'm thinking, they go, X-Men. Motendo. It's for breakfast now. It's a video game. Oh my God. Is it a video game?
Sugars. Surely our youngest member deserves some jubilation on her 18th birthday.
I love we have muffins and coffee.
Someone's daddy didn't get him a pony for his sweet 16.
Who's got 2 thumbs that blast fireworks and turns 18 today?
This
Me.
guy.
What's wrong with just one day where I don't have to freak out about the professor or Jean and her
Look
clone?
at the old TV.
You actually do play video games?
Video games.
This might be make or break.
The birthday
only
Big
people who
Mac. It's a
actually-
top-loaded
This one
console.
isn't
It looks like a
mine.
Nintendo 64.
Never even heard of a Motendo.
I love that it
I'd
is
rather
Nintendo
memory
with
find out about
Mojo.
mutant.
It looks like a Sega Genesis, to be honest with you. The way it top loads like that, but it's a 16-bit jacked into the Matrix.
Wait,
Loudness. Ascent on goal. We have to play the game to
how
survive.
did we get downtown so fast?
Hear the music? It's like 8-bit theme music.
It would be a lot easier if you just used your powers.
Dial out.
Phone booth trap? That'd be creative. Hello?
It is so Matrix. And it's a loading screen.
Whoa,
Oh,
hold
new
up.
game.
The dude
Is
who
that
created
Boba Fett back there?
Sentinels?
They look like Boba Fett's. The Blob was there. I think I saw Thunderhawk, I think his name was. Is that
Was that you, Hot Topic stalker?
Morph turned into her last episode?
Error. System error. Pay attention to the young lady.
Oh my
You're
God.
like totally in a video game.
Mojo looks skinny.
Hoping for classic Jubilee. Mojo here, your primetime psycho interdimensional alien, putting the X-Men through overly complicated death traps to entertain my slaves.
Gladiator.
Ratings are down, 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 and thirsty for the next big thing, dirty girl.
Creepy and awesome.
You're the star.
Mojo's got abs.
Dazzler had a gig, don't ask. So you're my gamer girl in a gamer world. The future, a Motendo, that's Mo for Mojo. I'll dominate the galaxies and the 18 to 45 age demographic. If you die in the game, you die in real life.
Look at
but
the teeth, man. Scary looking.
be young forever, replay the golden hits, no growing up. Who's the boss? Summers versus Gray. That's not
Love it.
X-Men. Game on!
He reminds me of the dude from Death Note. Oh my god, old school X-Men. We even have a side scroller with life bars and everything. Roberto, you better step up your game. Jubilee is killing you in the score. It is the game. Sauron. Oh, it's Spiral.
He's at it again.
Catch that bug, Spiral!
Asteroid M. This is literally the game.
Now Helmet Head's bossing us around and telling me how
We
to
were just
spend
talking
my
about the
birthday.
original.
What's the rush?
You
These
just kept
levels
doing it
are
over and
taking
over.
me back.
Right in the face.
That had to hurt. Roberto is dead.
Boss battle time!
Magneto.
I am Magneto.
This was the last level
Roberto's
of
health
the
is
arcade
almost
game.
gone.
Put in more quarters and bring Roberto back. Single-handedly beat the game.
Roberto!
I feel like there's a bonus level or something.
Is that
Life.
an extra
Life.
life?
How did that get in there?
Spiral.
Spiral!
I found an extra
I think he
life.
died on purpose
Someone
to cop
is
a
definitely
feel.
helping us.
No need for thank you among friends. And by friends, I mean you.
She's in league with Mojo.
Zip it, DaCosta. Like I said, we go way back. That blobby tyrant fraud could download in here any second and
It's
rip
an
us
older
back
Jubilee.
into the game of deception.
Mojo needed beta testers. Digital replicas of me.
It's a
Relive the
digital
glory
replica.
days more than I care to count, but note the hair and wrinkles.
Figures my game has cheat codes. Very me.
I know a part of you wants to hang here.
She even has Jubilee
It's
earrings.
nice. Living doesn't get cheat codes or extra lives.
We're learning
So
from our
Magneto
digital
was
older
right.
self.
A bit. But he's totally wrong about one thing.
The actual arcade cabinet 4-player. Here's Big Mojo, like I thought. So we got 2 Jubilees and a Roberto.
Just you wait.
Awesome. We're seeing what the true potential of Jubilee is.
It ain't over till the fat despot sings.
Listen to the music. Love it.
I'll gut you in the reboot!
It's all in the game world, but what is actually affecting Mojo? Probably not. Oh, well that probably did. I half feel like Spiral had something to do with future Jubilee, too.
Roberto.
Firework kiss. That's probably some hell of a kiss right there. Are we gonna end it there? I hope we don't end it there. I was gonna say I want to see more from Storm. Life Death Part 1. I feel like this is the continuation of Storm and Forge. So that was the Jubilee part.
Dinner's ready.
Forge has a very soothing voice.
Well, a friend of Charles Xavier is a friend of mine.
A mutant who can invent anything he can conceive.
There you
I
go.
can get at parts of the brain that are normally dormant in humans. But if you're needing a neat toaster or a thing that'll store your mutant powers,
Or a bowl of this delicious chili.
Are him and do Storm
May
and
I
Forge hook up?
ask?
I feel like wine and
Soldier, let's go for a ride.
you have to become one with nature. Fly like an eagle.
That owl, I've seen him before circling.
You more than anyone know how fast the weather can change.
Nice way to put it. Strong
They could safely
guy.
channel such
Multiple
power.
man. I love it.
You've been listening.
I am Storm, mistress of the elements.
It's working a little, unless it's just the wind or the birds. Have faith, Storm. Storm,
Please. This isn't happening.
be patient. I know it sucks. I mean, at least we got an awesome little place to live.
After the war, I didn't have the resources to build what I so easily saw in my mind.
Uh-oh.
Devices that could be used to
She's stepping back.
neutralize dangerous mutants.
No.
So he built what the
You
executioner
made these.
used.
You, of all people, should know the perils of trusting those in Washington.
We learned, Storm. Eventually
That's
he
not
learned.
fair. I could live forever, and still my endless imagination would never conceive of a thing as perfect as you.
There is definitely something happening here.
I love you.
Oh, right, there it is. Oh, maybe he harnessed the anger in her. She dreaming? She was
How
dreaming.
did I return here?
What's this all about? The owl. The owl, what is that?
Get out of my home!
Oh, God. Is she still dreaming?
Trapped here, haunted. I feast on misery. The adversary shall not waste my meal.
Adversary? What is this? Is that the end? All right, everybody, that was an interesting ending. The Adversary? I don't recall ever hearing that name, let alone seeing that type of creature. The whole half of that episode, the Life Death Part 1, she's saying, I've been seeing this owl ever since the Tequila Mockingbird bar where I met you. This owl's been following us around. I thought it was just nature sort of following Storm until she regains her abilities. And I think that's kind of what she was saying when they're on the cliff and we saw the owl. I thought it was an eagle, but she goes, that owl's been popping around. The Adversary, I don't know what is real and what is not, because she seemed like she was dreaming and then fell through the roof. And then it reformed the roof and bit Forge. I'm thinking that part was real. It injected like a poison or some sort of venom or something into him, threw him against the wall, and then it enveloped Storm. The only thing is it went into like a weird version of some sort of world. That's why I'm not so sure if we're still dreaming or not. But the episode was called Life Death on that part, the second half. We went from Motendo, which was frigging amazing. I mean, the second half was very good too, but I'm a sucker for nostalgia type things. And we went into Motendo, which looked like a Sega Genesis 16-bit system. It said on top, it was a top-loaded system. That's why it looked like the Sega Genesis. At first I was thinking Nintendo 64, but Nintendo 64 came maybe not way later, but I feel like it came later enough where that looked more like a Genesis, but being called sort of a Nintendo play on words with Mojo. Mojo looked shredded and in shape, and I'm thinking that's just the way he wants to look. He's going to be the big giant fat loser that we know him to be. I said during the episode, I have action figures of all these. I have Mojo, I have Spiral, I don't know if I have Forge, but I have all the X-Men. I have most of the villains. I love how when we were in Forge's shop, we could see the picture. Is it X-Force or X-Factor? One of them is the team that we saw on the wall, and it's Havoc and Strong Guy. I think it's Wolfsbane. I don't know. I'm blanking on the names, but I know those people. I just haven't dabbled in the world of comics and stuff until recently because of this, but only what we've seen so far. But I know all the characters. I just forget the names sometimes and the abilities. Motendo is great, though. I don't recall ever going into a game and seeing digital future Jubilee. So we saw what Jubilee is capable of in the future. Spiral was helping us. I thought at first Spiral was in the form of another character that was assisting us, which is very possibly what she was in the form of Jubilee, or at least helping digital Jubilee from the future. But it was like an old, wrinkled, white-haired Jubilee with the earrings and all, with better powers. Roberto still hasn't quite come into his own yet, but I mean, he's still like, you saw in the beginning, he didn't even want to use his powers for fear that people would see him and stuff like that. So I get it because of the world we live in, but I love that we are in the actual 4-player X-Men arcade game. Going from level to level, the Savage Lands, the end level with Magneto, it was all spot on like the game. We even had the X-Men extra life symbol that he touched to regain his life. And then Mojo came out of an actual 4-player X-Men arcade cabinet. All glorious. The way it ended though, we're obviously going to have to deal with Storm again. I feel like I saw the next episode's title was not Life Death Part 2. So maybe we're going to go back to the Academy and see what the other X-Men are doing next episode and then jump back to Storm. Because I feel like there are 3 different things going on here. Actually, I guess 2 now, because Jubilee did, succeed in beating the game. So now she's going to go back to the Academy. Maybe we're going to deal with that first and then go back to Storm. I feel like they were just building up the Storm storyline so we could run back into that later, because we could jump around as we see fit, and there's a lot of different things going on. Every character has, like, their own story. Like, we dealt with the Jean Grey thing last episode. Gambit and Rogue have a thing going on with Magneto, who is definitely trying to flirt with Rogue and help her with her sugar in her coffee and stuff like that. And Bishop, maybe that's where we're going to go. Bishop left with Nathan, so maybe next episode we see what's up with Bishop. Either way, loving what we're doing. I'm going to go edit this up. You guys let me know what you think. You want to see more of what I do? In the description of every video is a link for Patreon. You'll see these in full as soon as I watch them. I throw them up over there, then I edit them up. Same thing with Shogun, Delicious in Dungeon, Hell of a Boss, The Shield. We're starting Fallout and Chucky Season 3 this coming week. Jackie Chan movies every month. Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, My Hero Academia, Toriko, Avatar, animated and live action. Thousands of movies and shows, all full, unedited. In the description is the link for Patreon. If not, comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!